This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. 2 new vacancies at the troubled Justice Department tonight, one by firing, one by resignation. This is the upshot of Attorney General Ed Meese's latest tactic for dealing with all questions about his ethics and conduct in office. Meese's tactic? He fired his own chief spokesman, reportedly for not defending him strongly enough. Rita Braver is working the story.
Attorney General Edwin Meese, under fierce attack for his own legal and ethical problems, fired his press secretary, Terry Eastland, for not making him look good enough. Meese has been bombarded with calls for his own resignation, but announced today he was dumping Eastland because it's time for new leadership.
You have a feeling as to how an office is going and when the time comes to make changes, just like you do with a baseball team. I think Edward Bennett Williams did that with the Orioles earlier this season.
In his farewell letter, Eastland told Meese, "You want someone willing to aggressively defend you against, in effect, any and all criticism."
Perhaps, as I saw things, it would be difficult for me to be as aggressive as he might like.
Justice Department insiders say what really triggered the firing was Meese's concern that Eastland might resign in protest if the forthcoming independent counsel report on Meese's conduct is as harsh as some predict it will be.
I have felt that someone like me could not be indifferent to what might be contained in or flow from the independent counsel report.
William Schambra, the Chief Justice Department speechwriter, immediately resigned in protest over Eastland's firing. And as Eastland said farewell to his colleagues, there was criticism of his ouster from both conservatives and liberals.
I think this was the worst idea Attorney General Meese has had administratively since coming into office.
Terry Eastland should have been there announcing that Attorney General Meese was doing the proper and courageous thing, and that is stepping aside himself.
The Attorney General has already named a new press secretary, Patrick Horton, Eastland's former deputy, who's considered scrappier.
I plan to do the job to the best of my ability. I think that everybody has a little bit different style, a little bit different way of approaching a job.
Meanwhile, Meese has taken another approach to improving his own reputation. Justice Department sources say that tired of being portrayed as a buffoon in the press, Meese has hired a private public relations consultant to beef up his image as a drug buster. Rita Braver, CBS News at the Justice Department.
There are additional reports now that a top aide to Vice President George Bush had ties to a secret operation that was deeply involved in international gun running and drugs. The aide is a man with long ties to the CIA whose name has come up many times before in cases of guns and drugs. As he has before, Bush today tried to shrug off the reports as old news. Eric Ingberg is covering this story.
Thank you all, and God bless you.
For George Bush, the investigation of what he knew about illegal Contra aid is an issue that shows no signs of dying. A Senate committee has heard secret, still uncorroborated testimony from a shadowy arms dealer who claims Vice Presidential aide Donald Gregg helped manage the Contra supply network. The latest charges came from Richard Brennicky of Portland, who reportedly told the committee he warned Gregg that drug dealers were involved in Contra supply. Bush, campaigning in Seattle, tried to take the offensive by claiming that investigators led by Democrat John Kerry are playing politics.
This is old news. It's not even news. And you just get bombarded by these insinuations and tired stories. It's just pure, unadulterated, and I gotta watch my language.
Gregg, Bush's aide, maintains he does not know Brennicky and has never spoken to him. He says he played no role in the supply operation, even though Gregg was a close associate of Felix Rodriguez, the ex-CIA man who helped set it up. But as other evidence accumulates bit by bit, new questions are raised about Bush's and Gregg's links to North's secret operations. Item: in early 1985, a few days after a Rodriguez-Bush meeting in Washington, a top CIA official apparently called North to talk about Rodriguez's ties to the vice president. Item: an entry in North's diaries mentions a September 1985 meeting with Gregg to discuss logistics and maintenance at the air base where Rodriguez and the Contra network were headquartered. 10 days later, North flashed the go-ahead to Rodriguez to begin setting up the secret Contra aid flights.
Gregg has testified he was not at that September meeting despite North's written record. Gregg maintains a full year went by before he was to learn of Rodriguez's secret work for the Contras. And even then, Gregg says, he did not tell the vice president. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
Indications of continuing voter questions about the Bush alleged role in guns and drugs in the latest CBS News New York Times poll out this evening. This poll also suggests Bush may be behind now at this early point in the campaign in a likely presidential race pitting him against Michael Dukakis. CBS News chief political correspondent Bruce Morton reports.
If the presidential election were held today, Michael Dukakis would beat George Bush by 10 points. 2 months ago, they were dead even. Why the change? Some issues have switched parties.
I want to stop drugs. I want to choose hope on the dope and give life a chance.
Our sample said drugs was the most important issue facing the country, and the Democrats were the party that would handle it best. 2 years ago, drugs was a Republican issue.
Last month, my state had an unemployment rate of 2.9%. We're doing very well.
Second choice for most important issue, economics, unemployment, the deficit. Again, our sample thought the Democrats were better able to handle it. They seem to have lost their tax and spend label. What about defense?
The governor's views are naive at best, and if implemented would be dangerous to the defense, the muscle, the defense of this country.
Our sample thought the Republicans would be better at dealing with the Soviets and keeping America strong, but they didn't think those were the big issues. Dukakis' issues seem to be on track. Bush may be fishing a dry hole, and he has other problems.
He has spent so much time hanging on to Reagan's coattails that people have no sense of where he's going to take the country.
And there's more. Is the candidate attached to special interest groups? 38% thought Bush was, only 17% Dukakis. Is he tough enough to make the hard choices? 55% thought Bush was, 65% thought Dukakis was. Would you be uneasy with him in an international crisis? 55% were uneasy with Bush, only 42% with Dukakis. And finally, half our sample still thinks Bush is hiding something about the Iran-Contra affair. Bad news for Bush, but not fatal news.
People aren't focusing on the presidential race. I mean, normal people aren't dealing with presidential politics just yet. I mean, only strange people like all of us talk about presidential campaigns this early.
Polls are snapshots, not prophecies. The good news for Bush is they're not having the election today. If he has problems, he also has time to fix them. Bruce Morton, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Ever since the Saturday night crash that claimed 27 lives in Kentucky, authorities have wondered why a pickup truck was traveling in the wrong lane when it collided with a school bus. Tonight they think they have the answer, and they filed murder charges. Harold Dow reports.
Investigators now know for certain why the driver of this pickup truck was traveling in the wrong direction on Interstate 71 this weekend.
Blood alcohol results is 0.24, 24 hundredths% by weight of blood alcohol.
That means the driver of the pickup truck had a blood alcohol content 2.5 times the legal limit in the state of Kentucky when he collided with the school bus. 27 counts of murder have been filed, and the prosecutor wants the death penalty.
Circumstances surrounding his driving behavior on the evening when these people were killed, the fact of the innocent victims involved, those are the reasons for electing to go under the death penalty statute.
This man was the driver of that pickup truck. He is 34-year-old Larry Mahoney. In 1984, Mahoney was fined for driving while intoxicated. The founder of Mothers Against Drunk Driving in Kentucky was outraged by the senseless killings.
Drunk driving is still killing people every day. And in this instance, 27 people have died because of one person's irresponsible actions. And we feel very strongly and hope that he will be prosecuted to the fullest.
Of the 27 people who died, most were youngsters. At the schools they attended, everyone today was still in a state of shock. 16 of the dead young people came from Radcliffe Middle School. 10 were members of the school band. North Hardin High lost 3 students. Some of those who escaped with their lives are having a hard time dealing with the tragedy.
It's hard for me to hold it in because when I hold it in, I keep imagining the fire. I mean, I keep imagining watching the bus burn, watching my friends. I have to talk about it.
16 people are still hospitalized with burns and other injuries. 27 people are dead. A tragedy caused by one man, a man who was determined to drink and drive. Harold Dow, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Near Clinton in New York's Hudson Valley, at least 3 people died today and 22 were injured when a school bus went out of control. State police said the bus was carrying teens and young adults. They said it was traveling down a hill when it went out of control and rolled off the road. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled today the constitutional right to privacy does not extend to household garbage left out for collection. Today's decision upheld the right of police to use drug evidence seized without a search warrant from the trash bags of 2 suspected narcotics dealers. And still ahead on the CBS Evening News, correspondent Susan Spencer on just how addictive nicotine can be. And Frank Courier on memories of a kamikaze attack coming back to haunt a small town in Ohio.
My son recommended Preparation H for my hemorrhoids. Why should I listen to a kid? Because that kid is also a doctor.
In a national survey, 2 out of 3 doctors named Preparation H among the hemorrhoid remedies they recommended to their patients in the past year. It often relieves pain and itching for hours, helps shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue, and soothes painful irritation.
My son is very careful about what he recommends.
Preparation H, recommended by 2 out of 3 doctors.
Doctors know best.
Nothing should come between you and your pet, except the Hearts 2-in-1 collar. The collar that kills fleas and ticks for 5 months. Keeps them off your pet and out of your home. Go ahead, hug, snuggle, tickle him. The Hearts 2-in-1 collar lets you get close to your pet without getting close to fleas and ticks. If you want to hug a happier pet and have peace of mind, get the Hearts 2-in-1 collar.
I'm popping Vanny's droppings and look so clean. So drop in Vanny's droppings.
Drop-ins. Just pop a Vanish drop-ins in the tank to help keep your bowl clean and fresh for weeks.
Popping Vanny's droppings. Drop. Splish splash, I was taking a bath long about a Saturday night. Gloved up, got a clog in my tub, but Liquid Drano fixed it up right.
Liquid Drano, the liquid strong enough to be called Drano.
Moscow says 1,300 Soviet troops started out today on the final leg home from Afghanistan, the 200 miles from Kabul to the Soviet frontier. CBS News application to the Afghan government to cover the Kabul ceremonies was denied. Alan Pizzey spent the weekend behind rebel lines near the provincial capital where the troops leaving today were based. He reports that when the remaining soldiers pull out, the rebels are promising to make their journey a costly one.
For Afghan Mujahideen, the Soviet withdrawal was just another day. This encounter was between a small Mujahideen group and an Afghan army post, a battalion headquarters that will be left on its own when a nearby Soviet garrison is abandoned. On Sunday, the Soviet garrison stayed in place. The only movement was a few trucks. The Soviets' only route out lies down 60 miles of winding valley, with Mujahideen in control of the mountain ridges looming over it. Abdul Haq is one of the top 3 Mujahideen commanders. He is determined that the Soviets won't get out unscathed.
Are you going to attack them as they leave?
Yes, because there's no negotiation between us and the Soviet Union.
This Mujahideen group was using simple citizen band radios to call in rocket fire. When the radios failed, they reverted to an age-old system, guerrillas on the hills shouting messages. The guerrillas are worried that the U.S. may cut back weapons assistance after the Russian withdrawal.
I think if they know their money or their arms cannot kill the Soviet, I don't know will they still help or not.
The Mujahideen hope to dominate the countryside quickly so refugees can return to abandoned farms like this. 3 million Afghan refugees wait in Pakistan alone. Many were born in exile, and for some, the chance for peace has come too late. This funeral was for a 6-month-old baby, victim of disease. While a few refugees have begun to trickle back to Afghanistan, others are hesitant. Tribal chieftain Amanu Sadar has been in exile for 9 years. He leads 20,000 refugees.
We have to get the Afghan government out of Jalalabad and Kabul, and then we can go home.
The Mujahideen don't believe that the Russian withdrawal will mean a quick end to the fighting, but they do see it as a major step closer to victory in a war that until now, few outsiders thought they had even a chance of winning. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, near Charisari, Afghanistan.
And the rains came. Pope John Paul arrived today in Paraguay in a torrential downpour. This was his last stop on a South American papal trip, and it also figures to be the stormiest. Correspondent Mark Phillips is traveling with the Pope.
There was a driving rainstorm waiting for Pope John Paul II as he arrived at President Alfredo Stroessner Airport in Asunción. And there, John Paul was greeted by the Paraguayan leader who has held an iron grip on power longer than anyone else in the Western Hemisphere. John Paul said he had come to Paraguay to minister to the faithful, but also to wade into the debate over the violations of civil rights that have become a way of life here. Stroessner took power in a military coup 34 years ago. His regime has provided refuge for fugitive Nazis, ousted dictators, and prominent drug dealers. He rules virtually by whim, above the law. What opposition there is often beaten into submission or conveniently disappears. Opposition leaders like Domingo Lino are frequently arrested.
The policemen don't say anything about why we are in the prison.
The military is kept happy and prosperous by running a lucrative smuggling trade, most notably in automobiles. Any newspaper that dares criticize the regime is shut down.
It's very easy for them to make a lot of money because no one asks them from where they get the money.
The Paraguayan church, which has become a voice for the opposition, has been trying to get the Pope here for years. They say this visit is Stroessner's first ever political defeat.
De los que no tienen voz.
We hope John Paul will be the voice for the ones who have no voice, Bishop Melanio Medina says. An opposition group of young people has begun a hunger strike.
We all have to die Sunday. I'm just somebody that's passing along the flame of liberty.
Pope John Paul will deliver his lecture on human rights over the next 2 days. The Paraguayans will listen and wonder what will happen once the Pope leaves. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Asunción, Paraguay.
Before I fell off my 10-speed and ended up in the hospital, I never gave much thought to pain relievers. The hospital gave me Tylenol. It stopped the pain without irritating my stomach, like aspirin can, and it really made me think. Ever since that day, I've been a lot more careful about medicine. What do I trust now? Just one thing, Tylenol.
Trust Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
You're listening to the highest standard for telephone clarity, an AT&T phone. But what about cordless phones? The trouble is too many of them sound like this. That's why AT&T developed this new generation of cordless phones with clarity that rivals our corded phones. Now, when you can buy a cordless phone that sounds like this, or an AT&T cordless 52 or 5300 that sounds like this, the clear choice is the right choice.
Know what's so special about this new Hoover Quick Broom?
No.
The most powerful motor in a lightweight vacuum we've ever made. And its see-through dust cups easy to empty.
Quick Broom. Hoover keeps making it better.
Is that a new hairdo?
This man is twice as strong as this man. Tom ZX is twice as strong as Rolaids. So when you have heartburn, get the stronger acid neutralizer. Tom ZX, twice as strong as Rolaids.
The smoking war escalated today. A new report from the Surgeon General of the United States added a weapon for people who oppose smoking and their representatives in Congress. It also drew fire from the tobacco industry. Medical correspondent Susan Spencer reports.
Surgeon General Koop drew his smoking gun on the tobacco industry today, declaring what a lot of people who can't kick the habit already know. The nicotine in cigarettes is addictive, very addictive. I would say it is just as addictive as heroin or cocaine. A drug as addictive as heroin or cocaine, Dr. Koop said, must not be available to children. Acknowledging that it's impractical to ban tobacco, he suggested no cigarettes in vending machines, no free samples, no sales to minors, licensing of cigarette sales just as liquor sales are licensed, and a new warning label. One proposal, smoking is addictive. Once you start, you may not be able to stop. Our nation has mobilized enormous resources to wage a war on drugs, illicit drugs.
we should also give priority to the one addiction, tobacco addiction, that is killing more than 300,000 Americans each year.
Anti-smoking groups said this report puts their fight on a new footing.
Because a finding that smoking is addicting knocks out the tobacco industry's #1 argument in the 100 suits against them, that is that smokers smoke because of their free will.
Others said the official finding that smokers are addicted may actually help them quit.
People should be encouraged. Now we know what the nature of the beast is that's been controlling them. It's a drug.
To stop kids from starting this drug, the government today unveiled new public service ads aimed at teenagers.
What a drag.
Strike 3. You're out. Don't be a butthead.
And on Capitol Hill, several congressmen promised more efforts to ban cigarette ads, restrict tobacco sales, and make companies more liable.
We have to battle the tobacco industry in a fight for our children.
As expected, the Tobacco Institute called today's report unwarranted, saying that since people do quit smoking, tobacco clearly isn't addictive. In response, the Surgeon General noted that some people also get off heroin. Susan Spencer, CBS News, Washington.
Angry outbursts today interrupted hearings by the U.S. Civil Rights Commission in Washington. Homosexual activists protested the commission's debate on whether laws to ban discrimination against people with AIDS would jeopardize public health. Protesters charged there is no civil rights protection for AIDS victims. President Reagan's working group looking into October's stock market crash today recommended so-called circuit breakers to halt trading when extreme swings in prices threaten the system. The group said trigger levels in all markets should be broad enough to be tripped only on rare occasions.
Hey, isn't this Canon's new personal zoom copier?
No, it's the Queen Mary.
The zoom feature really magnifies my image.
Or cuts you down to size.
And Canon replaceable cartridges sure make it easy to maintain. Like my other PCs.
Well, have you come to praise the PC-7 or to buy it?
Listen, Canon's personal zoom copier is the newest star in my family.
Guess you can't pick your relatives.
Personal copiers for every personality, only from Canon.
Now's the time to buy a home because Century 21 offices are opening doors for you. It's our Century 21 open house weekend.
This weekend, we're opening doors all over the area. Homes you can afford.
And Century 21 offices are selling more homes than anyone else.
Now's the time to buy a home. So come on in.
Put #1 to work for you. Century 21.
Call your local Century 21 broker for details of our open house weekend.
New Caffrey toothpaste decaffeinates your smile.
Coffee and tea can stain your smile, like they stain your cup.
New Caffrey gets out coffee and tea stains better than the leading toothpaste. Caffrey decaffeinates your smile every day, toothpaste or gel.
See the colors of Puerto Rico, colors, colors everywhere. Puerto Rico, the shining star.
The government today reported that industrial production in April jumped 0.7%. That's the sharpest increase in 6 months. A growing role in this nation's industrial strength is being assumed by the Japanese. Names like Nissan, Sony, and Honda are now familiar to American workers and mostly welcomed as they revive ailing local communities. Sometimes welcomed, but not by the mayor of one Ohio community. Frank Courier explains.
They were kamikazes, Japanese suicide pilots during World War II. Their victims, among thousands of American casualties at sea, the destroyer USS Luce and torpedoman's mate William Leitz, seriously wounded, still bitter.
Now, I don't hate the Japanese, but I just don't want to have anything to do with them. That's all there is to it. It's that simple.
His words have sparked controversy. Till recently, the 64-year-old bricklayer kept his anti-Japanese feelings quiet, but finally spoke out and resigned as four-term mayor of Wapakoneta, Ohio, after town planners launched a campaign to woo Japanese interests.
I'm not a hot dogger, and I'm not on a soapbox, and I'm not on a crusade. But there are some things I'm not going to compromise about.
He has the right to his own opinion. I don't think it's in tune with the times. I think he could have kept it personal, been better.
It has stirred emotions in this conservative, largely German Catholic community, Wapakoneta, one-time capital of the Shawnee Indians, site of a museum dedicated to hometown hero, astronaut Neil Armstrong, where pay phone calls are still only a nickel, and where roots are planted deep in America.
Well, I'm an American, and America is America. It's for Americans.
When the biggest employer here, a cheese factory, closed down more than a year ago, forcing 400 people out of work, town fathers decided Wapakoneta's future hinged not on American investors, but on Japanese.
In a video presentation they took to Japan, town boosters are promoting Wapakoneta's cheap land, low taxes, and a friendly, young, and educated non-union workforce.
It's no secret in the development business now that the action is with the Japanese.
It's an economic bonanza, with Honda, the largest among nearly 90 Japanese-owned businesses in Ohio, employing 7,000 workers.
My sister likes to see the Cincinnati Reds play baseball.
A family learning center owned by Honda is now helping ease the culture shock for Japanese immigrants in the area.
They enjoy American life. Spacious room and a big yard, which we don't have too much in Japan. It's very crowded.
With the likelihood many more Japanese will settle and do business here, most Wapakoneta townspeople have searched their souls and decided it's what's best.
We're at peace. 40 years is a long time ago, and I think they have to live with it.
But not former Mayor Leitz.
I can't help but think of all those young people, as I was young at that time, that are dead because of what happened at Pearl Harbor.
While his neighbors see Japan as an economic friend for the future, William Leitz and many other Americans of his generation are still haunted by the war and by Japan as an enemy from the past. Frank Courier, CBS News, Wapakoneta, Ohio.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Up to $2,000 cash back from Subaru is worth more than the same money from anyone else. It's worth more because Subaru builds a rugged, reliable wagon that's the best-selling import wagon in America. It's worth more because Subaru's XT6 has the same engine design found in a Ferrari or a Porsche. It's worth more because the Subaru Justy is the lowest-priced four-wheel drive passenger car in America. Up to $2,000 cash back on a Subaru is worth more because it's on a Subaru.
You should have seen this Whirlpool cooktop a little while ago. My husband made chili. I said, from now on, use a pot, okay? But with this smooth ceramic surface, it was so easy to clean. And in here, I found a small meteorite. My son swears it was a TV dinner. Whatever it was, Whirlpool's self-cleaning oven took care of it. Heck, the way my Whirlpool appliances clean up, I feel just like June Cleaver.
We're making your world a little easier. Whirlpool.
Nice workout, Mr. Landsberg?
No. Sounds like you need Myoflex, the odorless pain relief rub for backache and sore muscles.
No one knows I just got dentures, and I don't want anything to blow it.
Fixodent and forget it. Fixodent helps fix loose spots for a strong hold that lasts longer than any leading cream. Use Fixodent and forget it.
This is CBS.